people come to you for messages. So the importance of this communicating with loved ones who have moved on, what is the importance of that closure? Because that person's moved on. So why is this important? Why is it such an important part of what we need to do in our living life?
Usually, if you know the person is passing on, moving on, there are times we have communicated, we have been by their side, and we have said, okay, we are going to take care, XYZ. But when it's an unfortunate death, or an untimely death, or an accidental death, or say the deaths that happened in COVID, or say a small baby, or somebody who's in coma and then passes away. So these are the times you've not got chance to say what you want to say to that person, right? Plus, the person also has not been able to communicate what they would want, because if they just went on a bike to get something, they didn't know they are not going to be anymore, right? So there is so much happening within them. So for both of them, it is very important to have the closure, to communicate correctly, to let go of any fear, guilt, resentment, regrets. That is very important, because these couple of emotions always keep you in a very low vibration, a low energy. And at the same time, the person who's moved on, many a times, Neelu, when we actually do these sessions, we come to know that they've not actually moved on. They've not gone to the light. They're still stuck here. Okay, so when they approach for a session, I always say that I think something inside you told you to come for a session, because then you figure out the soul is still stuck here, and then we help them go to the light. So there are times it could be they're still here and they've not gone to the light. So when doing such a session, it's also helping them and helping the loved ones here to, say the final goodbye, or say whatever they wanted to, because they might not feel this in a day-to-day life, but it's always in their head.
Right. So does that mean, Bhairavi, that, whoever comes to you, or do you always get messages from the people or the souls that you're seeking it from? Do you always get?
Not necessarily. There
So,
are times they would just not come. So I mean, as I said, mediumship is a gift. You have not learned somewhere. You learn things by experience, right? So when something like that happens, I feel maybe they have taken another birth. And then from that life, it's not going to be able to call them back, because they're already in a different journey of that soul, right? So maybe that's the reason they don't come. And sometimes they just don't come, because maybe they have really moved on and cut all their ties, and they are in that spirit realm. So for an example, my mom passed away 2 years back, and I do so many sessions. Okay. I lived my father-in-law soul for like a good year when he passed away. But my mom would just not come. She would not come and talk. But yeah, in a day-to-day routine, if something's happening, something about my brother, she will start sending me messages like tak, 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 tak. But if I sit and I say, okay, come, I want to talk to you, no, she just doesn't. Mom, it's mom.
moms.
But yeah, it happens like that. I also had a client in Rajkot, and she wanted to talk to both her Nana Nani. Say, I want to talk to my Nana and Nani because they passed away, and we want a closure, and they were very sick. So when we talked, the grandmom was happily there to bless them and bring a closure. The granddad just didn't. He didn't appear. He didn't want to talk.
All right. So okay, does that mean that at one time we can call two of them together, like a set of grandparents or a set of parents, or
No,
because you just said
we
Nana,
don't do
like
that.
both grandparents. So
No, there are two different sessions. There are two different sessions that we do that, because otherwise there is too much of energy interference. You may end up in doing something wrong. So we never call two people together. It's just one person at a time.
okay, and in connection to this itself, so with this example with your client that you just mentioned, did the approaching the grandfather happen first or approaching the grandmother happen first?
Now, grandfather happened first,
First, and he didn't come.
and he didn't come. So then
Okay.
they're like, okay, we would like to talk to the grandmom.
Okay.
And we wrapped that session, and then again I zoned in to connect to the grandmom.
All right. So in this case, because as you said, no, we do not call two people in together, but can you ask if they've been in touch with another loved one or somebody else? If they've been in touch and if they have some message from them, does that happen?
So that we can ask.
Okay.
Again, it's case specific. Anything
Right.
that you do in these sessions is very, very case specific. But
Right.
yes, that you can ask that, have you got a chance to see mom in that real lamp or anything from her? So that you can definitely.